What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Chuds BBQ. My name is Bradley Robinson, and today I'm going to show you how I made these. Beautiful, delicious, smoky, cheesy, deep fried, amazing Southwest egg rolls featuring some homemade Avocado Ranch. Coming up. These are some chicken breast. Pat them dry. Found another one in the fridge. And what I got here is some boneless, skinless chicken breast, pretty much the most basic cut of meat you can ever find. I know I'm back and forth for a while on what kind of chicken I should cook for this recipe, because this really is our only opportunity to add some barbecue flavor to these egg rolls. So I thought about doing a whole bird on the rotisserie, or maybe some half chickens on the offset, or some direct heat chicken. But the original recipe at Chili's, I'm pretty sure, uses chicken breast. And honestly, I think I've cooked chicken breast on this channel like twice in the last 4.5 years. And it needs more love. But also for these tailgating and football food kind of recipes, I want to keep it pretty quick and easy and a little bit more approachable. So chicken breast it is. And we're going to be adding a bunch of cheese and other flavors, so I'm not really worried about it being too dry or anything like that. But taking a look at these, they're looking pretty clean and nice already. The tender has been removed, which is good. I will probably go through and zip off some of this extra fat because it can kind of cook up a little bit weird. But really just kind of giving these a once over, making sure they're nice and clean and nice and pretty. But we are going to be cubing this up, so really not that important, which is nice. Keeping things easy today, folks. Looking good to me, so all we gotta do now is bust out a rub. Ingredients for our Southwest style rub include some kosher salt, some black pepper, some granulated garlic, granulated onion, some cumin, some Ancho chili powder, some paprika, cayenne, some dry oregano, some dry parsley, mostly for color, some coriander, and for color, a little bit of turmeric. And just get that all nice and mixed up. Beautiful. So now I'm gonna hit these with a little bit of olive oil just for a binder. Probably not necessary, but these are looking a little bit dry. And this might help the sear a little bit, not much. And then we'll grab some of our freshly made rub and just give these a nice healthy coating all over. Smells good, tell you that much. Pat that in, flip them over, and we'll do the same to the top side. And please, folks, don't forget the sides, because that would be a rookie move. Making sure they're thoroughly coated. And that is looking pretty much perfect to me. Let's go ahead and fire up the pit. And now that I got this grill fired up, we've got a classic indirect charcoal setup going on. So just kind of right back here is pretty hot, but the rest of this is going to be used for indirect cooking. And we're simply going to grill off some chicken breast. Starting out with a nice hard sear, just to kind of get the cooking process started. Get a nice crust and some good browning on these bad boys. Nothing too intense. Ooh, that smells good already. Shut the lid down and let that start cooking away. Been like 3 minutes, but flip these over, looking good. I'm kind of liking that blackening effect we're getting on these. But that's some good looking grilled chicken so far. And just like that, after a couple minutes on the hot side, I'm gonna move these over here. Very happy with how these are looking. I'm loving that color on there. And it'll continue to build up a little more color on the indirect side. I'm gonna aim these fixed side toward the fire. And I'm also gonna throw in a chunk of some post oak wood for a little extra smoke flavor, so we get the beautiful combination of charcoal grilled and smoke. Should be some very flavorful chicken. And as you can see, we got plenty of smoke coming in and over these chicken breasts, and they're rocking about 120, 125 internal. So we're gonna let these cook for a little bit, get some smoky flavor, and come up to about 150, 155. And while we wait for those chicken breasts to come up to temp, let's go ahead and get our tortillas started, because I know these are called Southwest egg rolls, but they're actually made with tortillas. Starting going into the food processor here with some bread flour, some kosher salt, and some baking powder. And get that blended together. And then we're going in with a whole bunch of some Wagyu beef tallow. And get that cut in. And then while it's running, we're gonna go in with some warm water. And we're just gonna let that knead for a couple of minutes. And once everything is pulling away from the sides of the bowl nice and clean, out it comes. Beautiful. Very easy dough to work with. Always comes out nice and clean. Gotta love that. Give it a few more kneads for good measure, just to get this into a nice tight ball. Looking absolutely beautiful. And now we're gonna go ahead and portion this out into tortilla sizes, which for me is gonna be about 50 gram dough balls. 57, pretty close. And now we're gonna grab one of these balls, take all the seams, tuck them to the underside for a nice good presentation and a smooth top, pinch it all together, and give it the old table roll. So it's nice and tight, and there you go. Beautiful little tortilla ball. And once all our balls are formed, we're gonna pop a lid on these and just let these chill out and relax for the next little bit. That's gonna help them stretch out a lot easier, but anywhere from 30 minutes to a couple hours is what you need. And just like that, these chicken breasts have come up to about 155 internal, so they are gonna come off the pit, carry over, and rest. Very pleased with how those are looking. Lovely color. Looking pretty good. And now all of our ingredients are ready, but before we go ahead and make that egg roll filling, let's go ahead and bust out a quick and easy avocado ranch. So in this quart container, I have got 1 cup of mayonnaise, to which we're gonna add 1 cup of buttermilk, along with 1 packet of ranch dressing mix, as well as about a tablespoon of some granulated garlic and some granulated onion. And we're gonna start out with 1/2 of 1 avocado, but we might add the other half after we taste it. Boop. And just give that a quick little mix. That way the spices don't get all clogged up in the blender. And then in with the hand blender we go. After a quick taste, I think I am going to go in with the whole avocado. Add a little more body, richness, and flavor. And at this point, this is looking really good. Love the color of that. I'm not sure if it's picking up on camera, but it's got a nice green hue to it. And at this point, you can make this as thick or as thin as you like. For me, that's looking a little bit too thick. This is tasting really good though. So I'm gonna thin it out with a little bit more buttermilk. And just like that, that's looking really good. I'm gonna add a few more extra ingredients just to drive home the freshness, including a couple tablespoons of some fresh dill, as well as some freshly chopped up chives. This comes together so quick and is so much better than store-bought ranch, but it is made by Hidden Valley still, so it's got that classic ranch flavor. This is how they do it in the restaurants. And just like that, our beautiful ranch dressing is done. Be sure to give that a taste. Oh God, that is so good. Ranchy, but still kind of fresh. Very tasty stuff. Highly recommend it. And now let's go ahead and get all of our veg cooked off. Starting by going into a pan with a squeeze of some olive oil, as well as 1 small white onion. And get those cooking down for just a minute. And then in we go with 1 red bell pepper, a couple of jalapenos. We're going spicy today, folks. And start getting this all sweated down. Starting to smell good. Also gonna throw in the whites from these green onions because I've got them. Probably should have thrown those in earlier. And after about 5 minutes of cooking down, these are starting to soften up. The onions are looking translucent, but not complete mush yet. But next going in is a whole bunch of some spinach. More than you think, because this is gonna wilt down quite a bit. And look at us, we're making something somewhat healthy at this stage. So I'll just get this stirred in, give it some heat. It'll all wilt down in a couple of minutes. And just like that, looks like a lot less now. Smells pretty good though. Next going in is about a cup of corn, as well as a cup of black beans. Get that all heated through. Beautiful. And now we're gonna go in with a big pinch of our seasoning from earlier, same stuff we put on the chicken. That makes it smell better. And it's also at this stage we'll go in with our garlic. And get this all mixed together and get that garlic cooking down for just a minute or so. And once that garlic is nice and fragrant and everything is looking really nice, we're gonna finish it off with some lime juice. 1 lime to be exact. And we're also going to mix in the greens from our onions for a little bit of freshness. And then lastly, in with our chicken. You can kind of make this however you like. Chicken heavy, veg heavy. We're probably going to go relatively chicken heavy. And once everything is evenly incorporated, be sure to taste this for seasoning. Maybe add some more lime or spice to your preference. I'd probably use 2 of the 3 chicken breasts, but this will be good for some chicken salad or something like that. But now we're going to set this aside because we need to make our tortilla. Ow, that's hot. Got the old Chud press fired up to get these tortillas pressed out. So we're going to take some of our lovely dough, pop it right in the middle, and smash it down. Taco squeal. Let that cook for a minute, and by minute I mean like 12 seconds. Open her up, a little stickage, that's okay. Peel it off and flip it over. Let that underside cook and we should end up with a lovely flour tortilla. Ooh, getting some puff. Very nice. And just like that, beautiful flour tortilla going into the tortilla warmer. Very important step. It'll kind of steam in there, get nice and pliable. And we repeat. And just like that, hot off the press, a beautiful stack of some lovely, warm, freshly made beef tallow tortillas. Gotta love that. Let's load one up. Now, technically, these are more akin to like a flauta or a taquito or a mini burrito than an actual egg roll. But, you know, who am I to argue with the way Chili's names stuff? But, you know, because it is slightly burrito-like, I'm very likely going to overfill these. So we're going to try our best not to. But we're going down with our filling, which has got everything in it, followed by a whole bunch of our pepper jack cheese. We're just going to try and roll this up. Oh, I ripped my tort. That's all right. Fold the ends in, give it a little boop, and a little boop, and roll it all the way up. And there we go. That's looking pretty good. Hopefully I do a good job rolling these up because otherwise we might lose a bunch of cheese in the deep fryer and we don't want that. But I'm liking the size of it. I thought these might be a little too gigantic. I thought about making some like 30-gram tortilla balls, but all things said and done, I think this is looking pretty good. A little filling, a little bit of cheese. Well, a good amount of cheese. And then we roll it up, tuck the sides together in like that. And up, and we roll. Looking good to me. These freshly made tortillas are perfect because they're still super malleable because they're warm and currently steaming in that little jug thing. But if you're gonna buy store-bought tortillas, I would recommend nuking them or, you know, throwing them in a pan real quick to make sure they don't crack on you. But other than that, really not much to it. I should also mention that I did not keep this filling hot, which is making it a lot easier to work with. It kind of molds and forms. But it's also nice because you can make this filling way ahead of time and then make these day of or very last minute, which is pretty convenient for a recipe like this. And it doesn't need to be hot because we're about to drop these into a deep fryer. Love it. And now that they are all rolled up, to the deep fryer we go. Got this oil heated up to about 350 degrees and seam side down into the basket we go. It always feels kind of weird frying flour tortillas, but I don't think this would work very well with corn. I think one crispy bite, you'd lose all the filling. But let's see how these come out. Oh God, they unraveled immediately. That's not good. We're gonna do just a few at a time here, and I'm gonna try and keep some pressure on them so they don't float too much. Drop them in nice and slowly. Oh, lost one. All right, this one's just being a problem. Out it comes. We'll focus on these two. Oh my God, this is failing horribly. I think I'm just gonna do kind of quick dunks like this. Seems to be working out a little bit better. Probably would be a lot easier if I just did this in a shallow fry in a pan. That way it's kind of sitting on the bottom of the pan. But this oil's already hot, so we're gonna make it work. Really, we're just going for some nice golden brown color on these. We're almost there. There we go, that seemed to work. Now they're holding together, floating around, no more concerns. There we go, those are looking pretty good. Although honestly, these look a lot more like chimichangas than Southwest egg rolls, but I bet they'll still taste good. And just like that, after a little debacle in the deep fryer, out these come. And I definitely got better after the first few because he's looking pretty good. Lovely golden brown on that, feeling nice and toasty. So I'm gonna let these cool down for a minute and then we'll go ahead and slice on in. Now, as far as slicing these go, I'm gonna use a serrated knife, I think. I'll start with an ugly one because I'm not sure if this is gonna work, but I think this should get through that crusty tortilla a little bit better. And we wanna go on a nice big healthy bias right here. Oh yeah, that worked out beautifully. And there we have it, my version of the Southwest egg roll. Look at all that cheese in there, looking nice and gooey. All the veg, plenty of chicken, and that crispy tortilla looks fantastic. I mean, look at this little bite. Let's go ahead and slice open a couple more, shall we? Oh, that one looks even better. That looks like a pretty good appetizer to me, folks. So many colors. Gotta love that. Yep, one final close-up, folks. I mean, look at the color and the texture on that tortilla, and then we got all the veg and the chicken and the cheese, and don't forget the ranch, but let's see how these came out. To be completely honest, I did not expect to be that excited about these, but now that I'm staring down a big pile of them, they look pretty dang tasty. Yep, it is. That's a very pleasant bite. Definitely got some heat to it from the jalapeno and the spice, but nothing too crazy. I kind of like all the veg in there. The beans and the corn give it a really cool texture. And the deep fried flour tortilla is a texture in and of itself, you know what I mean? Much like the chimichanga video I did. It's got like a crisp yet fluffy, kind of like flaky texture to it. Kind of like a biscuit or like a pastry dough or something like that. Very tasty. Nice and meaty, cheesy. Really can't go wrong here. Probably better in ranch. Can confirm that is a good bite of food right there. It's all the flavors you need. It is quite pleasant. I'm picking up on the smoke flavor and the grill flavor on that chicken, but because it's got like a bunch of veg with the peppers, jalapenos, the onions, the spinach, the corn, it really is not a heavy bite, which is a welcome addition to this channel. That is fantastic. These little crispy bits. Tastes like a pot pie dough almost. And I'm glad I made a full quart of this ranch because this stuff is fantastic. Very addicting. That's a keeper, folks. Go. Brooke,
yes.
Would you like to try my version of a Southwest egg roll?
Yes. I haven't had one of these in years.
They're pretty tasty. I don't think I've ever actually had one from Chili's, but I asked Brooke the other day, what should I cook on the channel that's kind of football season-like? And she said, Southwest egg rolls. I said, coming up.
I remember Trudy's used to have the vegetarian version of these.
Ew.
I like them a lot.
There is quite a lot of veg in there. Looking very nice. I thought they were going to be too gigantic. This one in particular is pretty gigantic, but really manageable. And they fit in the dip cup.
It's so good. Did you make this ranch? Why is it green?
Avocado Ranch.
Really hitting the spot.
It was good.
Yeah.
Could have probably put some more cheese in there, though.
No.
I was just saying that this is a very pleasant eating experience for something that is smoked, like grilled and deep fried. It's not.
It doesn't feel heavy.
It's not a gut buster. Never would I thought I'd make an egg roll with a tortilla, then dipped in ranch. But
I'm assuming
here
these
we
are flour, right?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to make these again.
I think so too. For me.
This is hitting the spot. Well, before I devour probably 3 of these things whole off camera, I think it's time for the official taste test. All right, y'all, and that is it. That's how to make some absolutely fantastic smoky grilled chicken Southwest egg rolls. I highly recommend giving this one a try. The whole cooking process was really straightforward with really common ingredients, and they come together pretty quickly, and I am a bit surprised how much I liked them. Definitely something worth making, and a great option to bring to your next party or football game, and something I'll be making again very soon. But all that being said, if you enjoyed this video, let me know by hitting that subscribe button, let YouTube know by dropping a like on this video. If you do give this recipe a try for yourself, be sure to tag me on Instagram at Chuds BBQ. I'd love to see what y'all are cooking. Big shout out to all the Patreon members. Thank you for supporting Team Chud and allowing me to keep making all these videos. And until the next time I see you, please go cook something outside. Peace.